Welcome on into an episode of Oh So Curious, where you will find plenty of curious minds trying to tell time. Today we have an even number of curious minds. Let me search up how many of us we have here. Let me do a head count. We have four curious minds trying to tell time today. So let me do the introductions. Of course, you've already seen my name. I'm Daniel. Dan. I go by either or neither, whichever you
Hi,
prefer.
Dan.
Hi. Andrew, how are you doing today?
How is it?
I'm doing great. I actually got to not wake up early today, riding on a few cups of coffee, and I've been particularly obnoxious today. It turns out. That's how I'm doing. How are you doing? How's everybody doing?
Hey, it's great. Moving on. Mags, what's up?
Particularly obnoxious. That's an understatement. I'm
Wow.
great. How are you guys? I am, on the other hand, I am on like the other side of the globe, and it's late. I'm running on like fumes of caffeine right now. So, but hey, let's do this. I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Okay. Last but not least,
Moving on.
Roland.
Hi. I didn't want to yell. I was afraid, because audio levels. I didn't want to freak anybody out. Hi, Dan.
Yeah, no, I was like, where you screamed, but we didn't hear anything. I was like, is your audio not working? Do we need to start
Can you
over?
imagine if I just peaked so hard? I think that's a thing. They actually stop it from.
I think so. Yeah,
if you
it
yell
does.
loud
That's
enough,
true.
it cuts the audio.
Yeah. All right. Hello.
Hello.
How do you do? Okay. Well, we're live, guys. This is the first time we're doing it. You know what? I find ironic?
No. Go
No.
back.
Well, this is the first time we're doing the show live, and okay, let me explain. So
Okay.
we've done the show live once before, right? But here's usually people would they work their way up, but we always pre-tape the show. But for some reason, we decided that the first time we're gonna do live, we're gonna do it for 5 hours, the night of the Oscars, and just do a marathon. So it's like you go from, I don't know, 0 to 200 miles per hour. And then we're like, oh man, gotta relax a couple of weeks, like take a breath. Now we're back. We're live again. I think we're gonna be live going forward. I mean, unless there's reasons why we can't be, but like I don't see any of those reasons right now. What do you guys think about this format? I mean, it's a little looser. We get a lot more done, or we get to talk about a lot more things at least.
So far, so good. It's a lot. Sometimes it's filling up dead space, like what I'm doing right now. But it's I like the idea that we still have the structure. We still have segments. We still put in a lot of work throughout the week to make this a compelling, interesting show that mixes it up minute to minute. So we're not just spitballing for a couple hours at a time. This is
You tell, man.
no, really. I'm gonna toot our horn for a little bit.
I'm hyping you up.
Thank
you don't need it, but I'm hyping you.
No, I definitely don't need help. But I'm
Do
gonna
not.
spread
At ease. At ease.
Wow. Oh my. Can I just get out what I do like this show. We're doing something different that we're not seeing a lot of other podcasts and shows do. So yeah, I'm a fan. Now,
all right, awesome. Well, guys, just some housekeeping stuff. If you could see at the bottom there, follow our podcast. Listen to it today. Apple, other streaming services. We're on all of the big ones. I think I'm made sure we are all in the big ones. But hey, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, find us there. Find Oh So Curious. Listen to our podcast. But before we actually even go on to quickest, which is what we usually do at this point in the show, what I wanted to do here was talk about something that happened yesterday. So obviously today is Sunday. We're live. You don't have to pretend we are doing this on a different day. And yesterday on Saturday, some news dropped, which usually the weekend is not a news time. Like it's not big on news. So you don't hear stuff like it was like dead. But yesterday we got some news and it was about the Fast 10 franchise. So let me get us a look at like what exactly
I give
happened.
up.
No, seriously.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's fasten your seatbelts.
That's
We've
not my
got
joke.
some
I
breaking
can't take
news. from Dom Toretto himself.
And it just got bigger.
Oh yes, yes, I saw this.
Yeah.
Allison Brie is joining the family.
That's a different actress, Andrew.
Who is that?
Brie
Brie
Larson.
No, Brie Larson.
That's
You
Brie
had the
Larson.
name part.
Brie, you know
I'd be-
what?
Almost.
You almost had it. You were
Almost.
close there.
It's a
Yeah.
very. I can't read. I had to guess. I just pulled into.
No,
I
it's
pulled. I
very
reached into the
small. I
cheese
apologize.
drawer, pulled out the wrong actress.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Brie Larson.
What
Yeah,
happened?
I'll put this up. Like so here it
She's
is. There's the tweet. It's not even a tweet. It's on Instagram. Basically, Brie
Yeah.
Larson is coming on board the Fast and Furious 10, the 10th installment, if it wasn't obvious, in the franchise. The franchise that keeps going. Brie Larson also happens to be the latest of 3 high-profile actors to join this movie. So we've got the usual suspects coming back. Like obviously, Vin Diesel playing Dom Toretto, Michelle Rodriguez. You have Jordana Brewster, Sung Hong. He plays Han, obviously. Tokyo
Yeah.
Drift, and he's coming back. We've got Ludacris, Tyrese. What's his last name? What's his last? You guys gonna leave me? hanging? What's it? Tyrese Gibson.
I don't know,
hanging.
but
Yeah.
I've heard in the last film they shot a car into space.
They did.
So I wonder what are they gonna do now that they have Captain Marvel on board.
Maybe the
Yeah.
movie will start in space. Like
Maybe she'll come down and get it and bring it back.
Oh,
Maybe
Which
Fast
is-
and Furious is entering the MCU.
Maybe. Andrew, let me ask you this. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
how familiar you are with the Fast franchise, but
Almost not familiar. Just seen lots of commercials over the past 30 years.
okay. Well, so let me put it this way then. You look at these 3 actors. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
you know probably the other people who are in the movie. You've seen them many a times in trailers and commercials.
Mhm.
But these 3 have never been in the movie. Like John Cena was in the last one. Charlize Theron has been in the last couple of them. I think she might be back again. But Jason Momoa, Daniela Melchior, who's a Portuguese actress, I believe, and we haven't really seen her much in Hollywood except for I believe she did the Suicide Squad to James Gunn last year.
oh yeah.
She played
there's a
Ratcatcher
hint
2.
of resemblance, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah. And then Brie Larson, of course, Captain Marvel. She was
Right.
in 21 Jump Street. Jason Momoa's Aquaman. He was in Dune. He's not gonna be in Dune Part 2.
Brie Larson, let's not forget, she was very, very good in Room, for which
Yeah.
she got an Oscar.
Yeah.
Fantastic role. That's why it was quite surprising for me to see her starting to do Marvel and superhero, and now Fast and Furious, because I thought she was more of that type of actress. But yeah,
My first impression was Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where she played Envy
Okay.
Adams. So
Which one was Envy Adams?
Scott's ex rock star girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
But she's a very
Yeah.
diverse actor. I mean, she's willing to be in these very serious and dramatic roles, and also these kind of fun and campy comic movies or whatever. There's a range.
is
And
that
Brie
Fast
Larson
and
is it.
Furious? Fast and Campy.
You need to have a lot
Yeah.
of range in Fast and Furious. You got to be able to go from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds.
And that's
I
if
get
you're
it.
a
All the way
car,
back.
yeah.
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 No, but Andrew, just to kind of put a cap on this, if you have not seen any of the other Fast movies,
Right.
would these additions to the cast make you want to go see the next one?
I can't imagine they would. I actually really like Jason Momoa after I saw him in Dune. And even what they tried to do with Aquaman, he gave it his full effort and he did a good job modernizing the character. So I'm a fan of his. I don't know what do women race in the Fast and Furious movies too? Is
Oh, yeah.
she's gonna compete?
No, everybody gets involved. It's a
Yeah,
team
okay.
effort.
I
It's all about
mean,
family.
That's what I've heard about family, but
It's a theme.
would I be lost having not seen the first 9? that's really where I'm gonna, come down on this one. But no, I don't think
y-
that adding those two would be the thing that pushes me over the edge. Sorry.
All
So
right.
who's
Well,
the target audience at this stage? Sorry, like who's the
Yeah.
target audience at this stage? Is it more like aimed at teenagers or like men?
It's well, you can probably those, but then I think this is one of those few franchises, especially a non-superhero franchise, that actually appeals to a wide audience. Like I think Furious 7 made $1 billion. I'm pretty sure like the last one, F9, made like almost $1 billion in COVID times.
Well,
So
these movies do really well in China. That's why they make as much as they do, right?
well no, but they do well in China, yes, but they also do really well in like across a lot of international markets. It's the kind of movie that it tends to bring the vast majority of its box office returns from the international markets rather than the North American market, where it does well. Like it's no joke in the North American market, but usually like for example, right now the Batman it's if you look at its box office breakdown, roughly half, if not more, of it is from North America, and then the rest of the world. Whereas with these movies, you tend to find that North America is like a smaller chunk of the pie. So it's got widespread appeal, and Universal has considered crossing it over with Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. So
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
yeah, they
Yeah,
have a
no.
Oh,
spin-off
wow.
series like with Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock, Jason
Right.
Statham. You got all that going. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to consider here, I suppose. But okay,
Yeah, I guess high octane action transcends language, and
yeah,
that's it's a spectacle is what it is at the
yeah.
end of the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
can't underestimate the theme of family, of course. Uh,
Right.
Family.
Family.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'll put it up to you. Let us know in the comments below. Does this news excite you? We already had Jason Momoa joining the movie. We have had Danielle Melchior join the movie. Most people probably don't know who she is, but now we have Brie Larson coming on board. I mean, they already have like the usual crew. Who knows? John Cena might be back. He's Dom's brother apparently. And then Charlie Strong. Like these movies have a bigger and bigger cast every time we talk about them. Like every new one is trying to like literally outdo the previous one. But let us know in the comments below what you think. Of course, like and subscribe. So let's move on. We're gonna go to quick hits. We try to keep them quick. It's the week's movie news, where we round up the news. We talk about movies, TV shows, what's happening in the world of Hollywood entertainment. Something to do with a slap, something to do with Marvel, and I'm sure the usual stuff. So yeah, let's go to quick hits.
Okay, it's time for some quick hits. Let's see what happened this week. Early in the week, Paramount Plus dropped the new trailer for its latest Star Trek series, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This stars Anson Mount as the venerable Captain Christopher Pike, reprising his role from Star Trek Discovery. The series will also star Rebecca Romijn as Pike's number 1 and Ethan Peck as a young Spock. You can expect to see this one on Paramount Plus May 5th. Also this week, there were some big shakeups at Warner Media as Discovery completes its merger with the company. First, Jason Kilar resigned as CEO of Warner Media, and then a day later, it was announced that Ann Sarnoff would be leaving her role as chairman and CEO of Warner Media's Studios and Networks Group. It's a lot of shakeups, What does this mean for the future of Warner Studios and all? Gosh, it leaves a lot for the imagination, but I'm getting ahead of myself. On Friday, more fallout from this year's Oscars and The Slap. The Academy formally announced a 10-year ban for Will Smith from the annual ceremony, further condemning his conduct and acknowledging they didn't adequately address the situation as it unfolded on live television. The Academy also thanked Chris Rock for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances, and thanked the evening's hosts, nominees, presenters, and winners for their poise and grace during the telecast. And last but not least, you may know of a little movie about a multiverse of madness releasing on May 6th. No, I don't mean Everything Everywhere All at Once from Ep2, which you can already see in some theaters, by the way. No, I'm talking about, of course, Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Tickets went on sale this past Wednesday, and according to Fandango, this destroyed the 2022 record for the first day of pre-sales, beating out The Batman and posting the best numbers since Spider-Man No Way Home. And that's it. Dem's the quick hits. I did my best and I gave them to you. Oh, by the way, have you been keeping up with Moon Knight? We have. A lot of people are enjoying it, and if you want to sort of get some good fanboy content, some good critiques that are consistent from the same voices, you should hang out with us, keep up with us. We're going to be going back to it week by week. But also let us know what you think of it. Comment and tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. And I've probably talked too much, so let's get back to the show.
Okay, so we're back, and let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. As you can see in the image here, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 involves more than just Sonic. It's not your run-of-the-mill Sonic movie. Of course, this is the second movie, and they're bringing in new characters. We saw some characters pop up toward the end of the last one. We've got a bunch of new ones in this movie, and Knuckles, played by Idris Elba, is one of them. So, guys, we have to talk about this movie. This is likely to be the biggest movie at the box office this weekend. What do you guys think about Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Well, it gives Jim Carrey an opportunity to shine. It really ups the animation value, and what do you expect from a movie of basically pure CGI and silly jokes? Are you taking your kids to see it? Probably. Are you taking your date to see this? Probably not. And you're probably not, walking away with anything really substantial in terms of a message. But
did you just talk in third person?
Me? No.
Did.
Actually,
He totally did.
Andrew gonna walk
well, you know what?
out
If we're gonna do this, all right. When you use you're actually using second person. So no, I was talking in second person.
I don't think that's anywho. Yeah, Sonic. It was, don't let the title confuse you. There isn't two hedgehogs. It's actually a hedgehog and a echidna, and cheetah. And actually, I don't know what the word is, but it's that. It's Knuckles. He's cool. He can punch.
Knuckles.
I mean, it's like, what can you say? Like, I played a little Sonic back in the day. I saw some Easter eggs, and then I had to Google the rest of the Easter eggs because I'm not the biggest fan of Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the first movie. I just saw the trailer for the first movie, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm caught up.
Yeah, that trailer for the first, any comparisons between,
oh my gosh,
you didn't see it.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was scandalous. The first one was just not very good.
I would have loved to seen the movie if they used that original concept art, because people hated it. The fans were like, this is not Sonic. It was just weird, disgusting. His body, for some reason, didn't fit his head. It was weird.
They went for like this realism kind of an approach, right?
Yeah.
Here's my theory on that whole thing. You can look at that and know that it's not going to test well.
Yeah.
I'm also they did it with cats.
Yes, they did it with cats, but they were going for something that actually looked more like the Broadway costumes there. And I saw what they were trying to do with cats.
Okay.
That might have just been, issues with the actual animators. When we're talking about the design and we see its human teeth and these widely, it looked nothing like Sonic. And in the era of nostalgia, that people want to see exactly what they know. So my inkling is that was deliberate negative marketing on the heels of the second Ghostbuster movie, where if you get enough people outraged and talking about it, well, now you've got free marketing. And I don't think that you're going to undo an entire movie's worth of animation, high budget animation, because a bunch of audience members don't know.
They delayed it for a few months.
I'm gonna bring us back to Sonic 2 here for a second, right?
Sure.
Okay.
But to put what you were saying in context, there was a lot of outrage, obviously, and theories be what they are. Maybe, if it could have been on purpose. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, certainly, and I think there's.
I mean, he didn't even have spikes.
That.
He still had the weird hair thing. Continue.
Yeah, but okay. But the movie ultimately, I mean, Max, you said that you heard it wasn't very good, but from everything I've read, because here's the thing, I haven't watched the first Sonic movie, so this was like a bit of
Oh,
out of
no,
context
no.
for me. But
I meant that I've
Yeah.
heard there was just so many people were upset with how the first one looked. I don't know if this one is good or not. I haven't seen it. And but Jim Carrey is in it, and we're a big fan of Jim Carrey. So
yeah,
perhaps I should see it. I don't know.
you
What do you guys
should,
think?
because it
Worth
could be his last
watching?
movie.
I don't
know?
think it is
No.
going to be his last movie.
Is
He was just pointing out, or teasing, or if you're Jim Carrey, manifesting Ace Ventura 3, because that's what Jim Carrey does. He carries around the check for $10 million that his dad gave him, or that he buried it in his. Never mind. You watch the video.
Okay.
He manifested himself into the career that he has. He's really into that head game stuff, and he said, if I'm blanking on the name now. If
Right when the solo frame got on you too.
I know, I'm letting everybody down. He would do Ace Ventura 3 if, was it Christopher Nolan directs it?
It was Nolan.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Wow.
totally on board for. But if you could do gritty Ace Ventura with Jim Carrey, treat it like The Dark Knight, but still have him doing what he does, it would be the ultimate Jim Carrey thing, where we get this really off the wall character, but with the grit and edginess that Nolan brings to it. But you could also bring some creepy Jim Carrey into it, and then you would get the full gamut of the Jim Carrey experience.
I mean, let's not forget, Jim Carrey is another diverse actor. Like, he's played like the number 23 movie.
That's
was
what I'm
very
thinking about. Yeah.
disturbing. Yeah. So I could see it.
My
I don't know if I
favorite.
want it, but I could definitely see the Christopher Nolan Ace Ventura movie.
I could tell you it would be
He
different.
can do it.
It would be
Yeah.
different, and it wouldn't be
Yeah.
a rehashed sequel. And I actually good on Jim Carrey. That's a good call to show us something familiar, but to totally recontextualize it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's good marketing for him.
I mean,
And-
the first one was always supposed to be like a joke on noir movies. So to actually see it become noir might be a whole like flip reversal. I don't know. I think we're getting sidetracked.
Hey, Roland, let me ask you
just-
this. I keep trying to bring us back to this movie in particular. What did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Yeah, it was fine. What am I?
It was-
It's like I try. I said it earlier. Like I wasn't too big of a fan, so I wasn't like my heart wasn't in it. You know what I mean? But it was a kids movie. That's really all I have to say about it. I like Idris Elba. I love Jim Carrey. I grew up on him, so it's
Robotnik?
best.
Yeah.
I don't know if I bought Idris Elba's voice coming out of Knuckles.
yeah.
It takes a little bit of, it's one of those things where you wouldn't notice it, but then once you know it, you can't not think about it, kind of a thing.
Not hear
But-
it.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Like, look, here's the thing. For me personally, Sonic the Hedgehog is one of those characters from like the Sega, how do you pronounce that?
Sega.
Sega
Saga.
World of Games.
I
Um,
don't know.
The arcade
Sega.
games from back in the day.
Sega.
And I loved those arcade games, but Sonic wasn't like one of those favorites of mine. So that's why I didn't see the first one, because I don't like I don't have to go see this. I can wait for it and to come out and and I don't know, and on Blu-ray, on Netflix, wherever. And then I just never got around to it because there's just so much out there today. But this movie, from what I've heard from the critics, it's not as good as the first. It is good. It's not as good as the first. Like
Is the
Rotten
sequel
Tomatoes
ever as
ratings
good as
are-
the first?
Huh?
Is the sequel
Yeah.
ever as good as the first?
Well,
The Dark Knight.
Okay.
20
The
The Dark Knight, 22 Jump Street, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yay, James.
you go.
Nice
Guardians
one.
of the Galaxy, Evil
All
Dead.
right.
I mean,
okay.
In
There's
the
a
world
list.
of Stargate, I would contend Stargate Atlantis, following Stargate SG-1, although it's not the same thing. But I'm trying to like get Max.
So yes, we could have just
reaction on
said
that.
yes. I get it. I'm wrong. I'm
I
off
love
today.
how we all.
I still haven't seen Atlantis, so I
Wow.
cannot, Dan.
That's just
I
not
cannot
cool.
comment on that.
Okay. Well,
I love how Sonic
guys,
is such
Sonic
like
the
a
Hedgehog.
movie that we have
Yeah.
to talk about other movies that we like to make it more enjoyable. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
well, that should say something about it, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna make a lot of money this weekend. It was on track for like 60 million, I think, at the opening weekend, which is by far the highest. Almost like quintupling what Ambulance is projected to make. So there's that.
Yeah,
And it's a family
fun though.
movie. April is a busy month of movies. There's a lot of movies coming
Mhm.
out. This is one of the first. Morbius unfortunately dropped a short while ago. Um, but we're gonna be talking about Ambulance later in the show, and there's also Everything Everywhere All at Once, which we will touch upon as well. But in the meantime, guys, let us know in the comments below, what do you think about Sonic the Hedgehog? Did you like it? Sonic the Hedgehog 2, that is. It is possibly, he's teasing it. Nobody knows for sure, but it could be Jim Carrey's last movie. And if it is, is it the way to go out? And if not, then I guess we'll see him probably back doing Ace Ventura 3 with Christopher Nolan. And
I hope so.
I would watch that any day of the week.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, well, guys, let's take a look at our review of episode 2 of Moon Knight. We reviewed the first episode last week, and we've been following this show. It looks fantastic. But we did a review of it earlier in the week, and if you didn't have a chance to check that out, you can check it out right now. Moon Knight, episode 2.
Right, Moon Knight, episode 2.
Episode 2 of Moon Knight is just stays being creepy and mysterious and just downright intriguing.
So we had a lot of bad CGI sequences, which it seems like it's going to be like a common thing for this series.
Even though I can't say I know exactly where the story goes, everything feels very done before.
I gotta say it, man. Episode 1 was easily the best first episode of any Marvel TV series I've seen on Disney Plus to date. And it's not close.
I'm so excited to see what they do with Moon Knight. And
So going into episode 2, I had high expectations because the show really set the bar high.
If episode 1 was the animal, episode 2 is the mask.
But then we had a lot of questions answered, which were raised in episode 1.
Where we're seeing, the inner conflict of somebody who has an alternate personality, and when one's on, the other's off, and that's your split personality disorder analog.
I was loving the back and forth between Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, I think his name is. But adding Mr. Knight into the equation, that just, it brings it up to another level. And then you see a lot more of Khonshu in this.
And I must say this whole story is very unusual, very different, and the Moon Knight is a very, very original character.
and hopefully see a Werewolf by Night cameo, because I've seen so many references to him.
It gives us a glimpse into more of the mythology of the mirror world. I hope we get to see a bit more of that, in Jordan Peele's Us, the idea of this is where shadows go at the end of the night.
I really like this whole, it's not like Venom, so it's one and the other person. There's 3 entities involved in the whole transformation.
From the perspective of balancing good character work with a lot of good plot, and then giving us good action, and just making it all around just a fantastic TV show. I'm like, they are firing on all cylinders with this.
If there's anything I'm excited about with this particular series, it's that I'd like to see more of dissecting the mirror existence. That's got to be neat.
I'm not gonna go into too many spoilers. Okay, I'm gonna go into spoilers. He ends up in basically what I think it looks like Egypt. I mean, it's definitely Egypt, and it's like the story is moving along at a great pace. Easily, so my new favorite, and I think the best Marvel Studios produced show on Disney Plus. I can't say enough good things about this.
I'm excited.
Very unusual story. I'm still a big fan of Ethan Hawke in it, and Oscar Isaac just who's Oscar guy? Oscar Isaac just continues to deliver. So yeah, still looking forward to episode 3.
I don't have friends. I got family. You don't turn your back on family. Brother never told you never threaten a man's family? What's real is family.
Family. Yeah, that's the theme here. So Toretto, the Toretto Meter. We came up with this new concept. It's all about family. What would Dom Toretto say? And today, the selection of movies that we have decided to work with. Like, I'm gonna put you guys on screen because your reactions are weird. We're gonna talk about the Oscars Best Pictures nominees, and obviously the winner too. There were 10 of them nominated.
Uh-huh.
I already know what I'm gonna say. Okay, this is perfect. I love this. I'm gonna have so much fun with this.
And so, what exactly are the rules?
What are we doing?
Let's just go through each of the movies from the Best Picture category at this year's Oscars, and we would give, we'll give them a rating, and then we'll see what Dom Toretto would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got his reactions basically. So once we figured out what we think about these movies, we will just throw it to Dom and hear what he has to say. That's the idea. Yeah.
We're letting.
Where would you guys like to start?
Meter...
Sorry, go
let's
ahead.
start with the Best Picture. Let's start with Coda.
Coda? All right. So tell me about Coda. What do you guys think about that movie? I loved it personally.
Love.
Did not see it.
I
heard great things. Heard I was supposed to see it. Maybe I still will.
I didn't get to watch it, but I did see clips, and it looked fantastic. And my girlfriend is really into American Sign Language, so
yeah, you said you're learning, right?
Yeah, I'm learning a little bit, not a lot. I'm afraid to show any of the signs I've learned because I'm afraid they're wrong, and I don't want to chance that.
Fair enough.
But
it's good. Coda's brilliant. You definitely have to see it.
Best Picture, and Best Supporting Actor, male. Sorry, go ahead, Roland.
Can I predict what Toretto is going to say about Coda?
Sure.
I think he would probably say something. He'd probably be like, "You don't need to hear if you have family," or something like that. I don't know what's going on, but that
so lost
in my head.
I don't even have the context of Toretto.
Basically, he's like, "You don't need friends.
You need."
When we meant to give it like a score.
Oh, score.
I mean, what did you?
Pretty good.
Okay, so just tell me what you guys thought about Coda, and then we will ask Dom Toretto. That's the idea.
I rate it from 1 out of 10. Pretty good.
I'd say awesome. I mean, I'm the only one who's seen it, and Dan actually.
Yeah,
so we've both seen it. It's very it's a great film. So I think he's gonna say it's awesome.
All right.
So
well,
9 out of 10.
I'm starting to realize that since there's 10 of these movies there's a bug near me. In this category, we don't have to talk about all 10. Let's just hit the ones that we want to, because otherwise we'll be here for a long time, and we got a bunch more to do. But let's see what Dom has to say about Coda, which, by the way, was, if anything, all about family.
What's real?
Yeah.
It's family.
That's literally the whole bit. Okay.
Don't like.
There would be something more.
Don't like.
It's family. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I expected.
I was like, I went for scores or anything.
I spit on my computer.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's not what I expected to hear from you guys, but
Dom like.
Let's talk about Dune. Let's do that next.
Dune.
What did you guys think about what?
But it was also about family, so
Dune was
that it was.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hugs in Dune. There's a mother-son, father-son relationship. There's a legacy. I imagine, I imagine it's about warring families. In fact, so I imagine Dom Toretto would like
Yeah.
I
No,
thought Oscar
I'd
Isaac was
imagine
a
too.
weird
Just
casting
gotta
choice.
point out one more time. I did this.
Yeah, he
I showed
does.
this at the Oscars live watch party. Rebecca Ferguson and Mags look alike, don't they?
You know what it is? It's the tube up her nose. I think that's what does it.
It's the nose.
It could be that. It literally could be that. Okay, well, let's see what Dom has to say about Dune.
Your brother never told you never threaten a man's family?
Certified
Hi.
fresh.
This is an accurate machine. This device you've constructed, it accurately measures movies and gives us
It very
an
perfectly
accurate
does.
reading.
It very perfectly does.
Wow.
Okay, well, the next one I'd like to touch upon is the one that won the award that everybody was talking about by the end of the night, and that's the Best Actor Male award. So let's talk about King Richard. Let's talk about Will Smith.
Brian Cena. Brian isn't here,
Yeah.
but
Well, we know it's about the sisters.
right.
The Williams
Well, it's
sisters.
not about the
sisters.
sisters, actually. It's about the dad.
Okay.
Are they both champions by now, or is it just Serena
yeah.
still?
The Williams sisters? Yeah.
Both of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Good hair, Rolan, by the way. I just noticed your hair color is different.
Whoa, the hat came off.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Really nice. You were wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I dyed it like a week ago.
So it's no longer trying to look like
both...
Quicksilver, right?
Yeah, that was a thing for a second.
Okay.
Now I just look
normal.
You know, I look like one of you guys, just a regular old Joe.
Yeah, it's a
regular
a good
old
disguise from your super suit.
Okay.
Well, guys, let's find out what Dom has to say about King Richard.
I don't have
I
friends.
have an idea.
I got family.
I don't think Richard had any friends. I think he literally only had family. He had nobody. I think that's the point of the story.
I think he liked it. I think Dom liked
Some
it.
of these are just straightforward. They're right to the punch.
Absolutely. Dom does not waste time, you know. He's got family to worry about.
So in Fast and Furious, how quickly does that line appear in every film? Is it like right at the start, or is it like, you know, the moment where they're about to have their big race and they're just like they're giving each other motivational speech?
I'm pretty sure at first they hate each other, and then like I think 3/4 through the movie they're family.
Yeah, that's basically how literally that's how the last few of them have kind of played out. It's
right.
Each basically, yeah. I mean, in the last one, John Cena was his long lost brother that we never knew existed until that movie. He was the main villain of the film. By the end of it, they were like, well, we're family.
Family?
You know, we're family.
Yeah.
So you can't keep fighting forever. We're family. But he had to keep on running. So he's no longer he's on the run, basically. So that's why you don't know if he's gonna be in the next movie. But guys, let's move on to what I would say is we'll cut it there. Let's do we'll do one more, then we'll cut it there. Because I don't want to do all 10 Oscars Best Picture nominees. But let's talk about The Power of Dog. This movie won the Best Director Award. Jane Campion, Benedict Cumberbatch, who's also in Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. He was nominated for Best Actor, lost to Will Smith, who was protecting a lot of people in the night. But unlike Will Smith, the character that Benedict, I put myself and hung myself out to dry.
I love how you stopped yourself. You were there. I was like, oh,
I was there.
Controversial. Shut it
I was
down.
there. But tell me about. He had a great performance. I mean, have you seen this? I mean, Andrew, you saw this movie. What did you think about this?
I enjoyed his performance. He was unrecognizable, especially after having just watched The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne, which is a really good one that totally went under everybody's radar. But in terms of the movie, pretty to watch, couple disturbing scenes, nice twist at the end. wasn't the best movie I saw of all of these contenders, but it was an enjoyable watch.
Okay. Well, did
And
anybody
for-
else here see it?
I've seen it. I was gonna just add that it was nice to see Jesse Plemons not play villain for a change.
That's true.
It was quite interesting
Well,
to see
have
him
you
as a
not
good
seen-
guy. And I didn't trust him. Like, that's another thing. I did not trust him whatsoever because I was like, he's up to something.
Guys, I don't know what
No,
you're talking
I was
about.
wrong.
Clearly you guys have not seen Jesse Plemons in Battleship. He is
Dan, you keep talking about this movie. Nobody's seen Battleship.
dude, it was made for like $200 million, Universal Pictures. It made like $400 million. It didn't do very well at the box office, but it had Liam Neeson's in it. It had Taylor
It did?
Kitsch in it, who is not in many movies these days. And it was a great movie. I love that movie, Battleship, based on the board game. And Jesse
Actually?
Plemons was fantastic. And the movie had
Right.
Rihanna. in
Rihanna
it.
is in this movie.
Rihanna was in this movie. But
Oh, that one. Okay.
yeah,
They based it on the game.
Oh yeah.
the board game. It's actually very clever how to do it. And guys,
Wow.
by
Look
the
it up.
that
I
movie
hope
is
they
one of
did
the
that for
very few
every
movies.
board game.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would love to see a Monopoly board game or a life board movie for that. You know, that's what I'm
But
saying.
we have emoji films, so
That's not
Yeah.
the same. I want to feel like I'm actually in a Trivial Pursuit.
Okay, well,
Oh, that's
well,
another one. That would've been
all
good.
I'll say is this: the U.S. Navy officially was involved in consulting on that project, and so you see a lot of realistic sequences involving ships and whatnot, and weapons that would be on the ship. And I'm a big military sci-fi fan. Stargate,
Yeah.
being the one that
Star
I love
Trek?
franchise. Star Trek. I like Star Trek. I like Star Trek.
Which one?
I like all Star Trek. There's very little Star
All
Trek
Star
I don't
Trek?
like. Star Trek in all shapes and sizes.
I have never seen Star Trek, but I'm
Ooh.
guessing you know the episode of going back to Jesse Plemons and
Yeah.
Star Trek homage.
Black Mirror.
The first
Black
episode.
Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's what Star Trek is. That's my only idea of what Star Trek is about.
Well,
More like
that's like a
Star
parody
girl,
of Star
so-
Trek, like a very
that was
dark parody of
brilliant.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
But guys, this movie, The Power of Dog. Speaking of the Toretto Meter, the Power of Dog is a movie that's all about
still
doing
psychological torture. It's all
Yeah.
about
Get on with it.
it's all about turning back on your
Just do the
family.
reaction, Dan.
There's brothers.
Just do it.
There's a
It's
mother,
about
there's a
doing
marriage.
bad things to your family. So what would Dom Toretto say? I have a feeling that he wasn't a fan of this movie, but let's see.
I don't have friends. I got family.
I really like the stings.
That was surprising. I think I pulled up the wrong
Oh.
reaction. We'll try that
Oh,
one.
really?
You don't turn your back on family.
Wait,
What
you
was
mean that these don't actually take into account a series of mathematical formulas?
Yeah,
It's
they
not-
they totally do. I don't know what you guys
How
are
did it-
talking about.
How did it mess up?
No,
Why
no,
did it-
no. This I don't know what you guys are
Where's
talking
the-
about.
show me
Guys,
the
let us know what you
science.
thought about the Toretto Meter. That was fun. The current, I'm not
was
letting you behind the
so
curtain
much
on
fun.
how all that was put together. But
Mhm.
Dom Toretto's reactions were perfectly authentic. They were not planned ahead in advance. And it turns out he liked most of the movies. He had some surprising reactions in there. Let us know what you think about that.
He's a real
Shocked.
Oscars buff.
That's our reaction.
Mhm.
Shocked.
What?
He knew it all.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Would you-
I love that stuff.
So
Oh,
Dan,
boy.
would you say
Oh,
would you say that we're friends, or possibly something else?
oh.
What are you implying? I don't.
I'm just
Andrew,
wondering-
at
Guys,
most,
we
I
gotta move
consider you
on.
a pal.
We gotta move on.
You can
we gotta
what?
move on.
I said, Andrew, at most, I consider you a pal.
A pal. So not even a friend.
Aw.
Yikes.
I think you
Yeah,
are
I
a
don't
very
got
good friend, Andrew, and I hope that
You're a mascot.
I hope that one day, when we've been working long enough, we can all consider each other family. You know, much like Dom Toretto.
What's real is
No,
family.
no. Please don't.
Okay, all
I'm
right,
gonna
we're gonna move.
sleep with this chair.
I think
Oh.
we're good. I think we have a pretty good idea of the Toretto meter, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure we're gonna be coming back to the Toretto meter in the future because I had too much fun.
Oh,
with it.
Okay.
good.
I
I'm
had way too
sick.
much fun with
I
this.
call in sick though.
Okay, all right. Well, right now let's take a look at March of movies. Of course, we're in April. The month of March is already done and gone by, but there were a lot of good movies that came out. Some of them will be out in on DVD, on Blu-ray, on digital, on Netflix and streaming platforms, Disney Plus, HBO. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out in theaters, you can check them out then. Or some of those movies are still in theaters, like The Batman, for example. You know, and what we did is we decided to take like the dozens of movies that come out every month and we try to cut them down to size to a manageable list of movies you should check out. So this time around, we're going to show you our selection of the best from March. Let's take a look.
You don't have time to watch all the movies coming out this month. That's why we're gonna help you decide what not to watch. Oh So Curious presents Movie Eliminator, March 2022.
I'm vengeance.
Cheaper by the dozen, The Lost City, The Duke, X, Against the Ice, Tyson's Run, After Yang, Alice, The Batman, The Weekend Away, Gold, Fresh. Don't waste your time.
Hi, welcome to Rolan Underground, where we talk about what's happening in the world above while in my grandparents' basement. I'm your host, Influenza. So I know a kid. Wait, no, hold on. Let me. I was hanging out with my kid brother. Better. And it was really cool. I helped him make this short film. Here it is. Coyote! That's... And yeah, it's pretty good. Like, you know, I liked it, and it got me thinking that there's a whole new target audience. Children, you know? Who would have thought that the next generation, the future, if you can get in the minds of the future, you have the future in your hands. So I thought share some wisdom of mine. You know, I'm a young person, but I still got a thing or two to bring to the next generation. You know, Gen Z talking to... What would they be? Huh. Gen Alpha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't expect us to live this long. I mean, they're on a whole different alphabet with this one. So today we're gonna be talking to the kids and teach them how to be a better person. Parents, you don't even have to watch. Trust me, they have all the reasoning behind it. So just keep noted.
Hey, listen.
Get a spinning chair and then a leaf blower and then propel yourself. Try to see how fast you can go. Really test the momentum of physics, okay? The only way for you to learn something boring like physics is to do it yourself. Jump off a bridge, okay? It shows leadership. Be the person other parents are talking about. Also, you know, if somebody is jumping off the bridge and all your other friends are jumping off the bridge, go with them, okay? You don't want to be a loser without friends. I think it'd be a good idea if you just take all of your parents' expensive perfumes, colognes, maybe deodorant. Try to make your own scent. It teaches ingenuity. Yeah, it's a big word. You can Google it. Geography can be an important tool. I recommend you go somewhere in the woods if you can find them. No compass, no phone, nothing like that. Just go in the middle of it, spin around a couple of times and find your way back. Boy Scout it, all right? And if you want to go a step further, try to list as many country capitals as you can. I think that'll do something for you. A true leader knows how to delegate. If you have siblings, it would be a good idea to delegate those chores to your other siblings. What does delegate mean? It means like if you have a task and you give other people those tasks so you don't have to do them. They say communication is key, so never stop talking. Always just keep talking. Just every single thought that comes out of your head, just say it. All right? Then everybody will know where your mind is at because it's never stopped. And it's like a podcast. You just keep listening, keep listening. Speaking of podcasts, you should listen to Oh So Curious. It's a nice podcast. I'm on it. Empathy is an amazing attribute to have. And to truly empathize with somebody, you need to understand what they're going through. So I recommend doing some war crimes down the line. Do every sin imaginable so you can relate to somebody. You can understand what pains they're going through. Obviously, you should start small, like a pet. You should kill your pet. Self-awareness is almost like the other side of the coin to common sense. It's something you need to really know who you are if you want to be a leader in this world. So you need to stand up for yourself and you say, you know what, Dad? I did clog the toilet and I don't regret it. Personal experience from that one. Sometimes it's good to act a little older, and the only way to really understand is to watch adult behavior. I recommend going into an R-rated movie. Now it's pretty easy. If you go to a movie theater, just buy a PG ticket. They're not going to test you for that one. And then just walk into the nearest R-rated movie. Even better, try to figure out the time. Watch the beginning of the movie, not just walk into some random one. Think smart. Maybe you want to be a politician, okay? Debating is a very important thing to know. And if your parents are giving you some BS argument, like because I said so, you hit them with, oh, really? Because that's the appeal to authority fallacy. And I don't respect that. And I don't respect you either. You say that because if you say, I don't respect you because of your fallacies that you're using, they will respect you immediately. This is a for sure plan. Test it. Please, test it. And fallacies are forbidden when you're debating. So it's like, what are they trying to teach you when they say that? And that's my list. If you want to do something else, then do something else. But be creative about it. Be original about it, okay? You're the next generation. You need to be, starting fires and then putting them out like a boss. Who doesn't like a firefighter? I know I do. I like them. I like firefighters. I think they're cool. Not enough movies about them, in my opinion. Anyways, if you want to keep seeing lists like this, then follow Oh So Curious. Like, subscribe, I've already said that. What am I saying? Comments, that's a thing. Also, parents, this was a joke. Please don't sue me. All of this content is sarcastic and ironic. Please do not sue me. Children, if you're still listening, please don't do this.
Okay. I don't know what we just saw there, but let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery is a new company, a company that has just come into existence. Mm-hmm. And guys, I'm sure you have all been following this, the developments. AT&T just sold basically Warner Media to Discovery, a new company. Yeah. Tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, it's new logo and everything. They're going all out for it.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up another version.
It's like very minimal. It's cool and nice. I don't know.
It's me Looney Tunes vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot better than when they were advertising that they were doing the merger and they had that disgusting golden bricks of a font.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hated that.
On the clouds background, right?
Yeah.
With cloud background. Yeah.
Well, this isn't just a logo change. This is a company buying something, that's been a touchstone of American culture for decades. Warner Brothers has been around for literally decades at making movies, making cartoons, as influential, if not more than Disney at a certain point. And now with Disney taking over as much as they are, this feels like an attempt to compete. And Warner Brothers has been doing a lot to try to compete in the last couple of years, doing something like Space Jam, where they're reminding you this is every property that we own. And to a company like Discovery, honestly, I didn't even realize that it was big enough to buy Warner Brothers. I would have assumed that Warner Brothers was the bigger company, but
Oh no, it is. It would be. No, I mean I don't mean to cut you off, but literally, I
no,
think
please.
most people are still doing double takes with this for that exact reason, right? Because historically, Discovery has always sort of been working its way up the chain, and until I would say maybe even 5-10 years ago, Warner Brothers would probably still have been way too big for Discovery to acquire. But they've come into this new company, the Warner side, with like tens of billions of dollars of debt, and AT&T bought originally Warner Brothers or whatever they were called at the time for like 85 billion or something like that, and they just sold them to Discovery for like 43 some billion dollars. And so there's been a huge drop in valuation over the recent times, despite the fact that you look at all of those properties that they have. I mean, it's insane. I mean, this is a mix. Obviously, Magnolia Network is Discovery, HGTV is Discovery. A lot of the reality television is Discovery, but Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, TNT,
That's TVN, which is a Polish television. I actually know that.
Hey.
Wait, what?
Crazy.
Yeah.
TVN. Can you see like the blue one? The blue
The
one
TBS?
with
That's the Turner
yellow...
broadcast station or something like that.
Is it TBS or TVN?
That's not TVN.
I think it says TV.
It's
There's
TBS.
TLC.
There's HLN.
TBS, yeah.
Oh, TVN. Yeah, no, it's blue with like yellow letters.
Oh, TVN.
That's TVN.
It's in our. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
right
there.
Norge.
So that I know this is one of the Poland's biggest channels.
Man.
So it's crazy that they even own that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Wow.
I mean, both of these companies have
Like,
huge
why?
footprints. I mean, Andrew, let me ask you this. One of the things that was announced, or not really announced because you couldn't do that technically, but it came out through inside sources that Discovery's plan post-merger is to take the two streaming services, Discovery Plus and HBO Max, and merge them into one. And I think while they kind of can consummate that process, because there's a lot of back-end stuff that needs to happen, what they're gonna be doing is they're likely gonna be offering some kind of a bundle package. And recently, CNN launched a CNN Plus service. So much like you have the Disney package, where you can get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu in the United States. Internationally, I believe Hulu is basically part of Disney Plus. It's like under the Star banner. But in the US, you can get those three streaming services packaged together, save some money. Now Discovery Plus and HBO Max will, in the interim at least, will become like some sort of a bundle deal, and then in the future will become one big service. What are your thoughts about that? Like, what do you think about the just the content? Like, all of these networks and brands, all of them have content going into these streaming services, and now the two of them you can buy in a package.
I think it's any move to consolidate is a good move. And I think we're going to see that on every side of the streaming war right now. But basically what you're doing is you're giving people the choice. You're going to be a Coke person, you're going to be a Pepsi person. And it's dumb, but some people, they pick a side and that's what they do. What's exciting about that is if you have a lot more offered under Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, or Disney, you're going to choose those shows, those movies, based on their quality. And so ideally what this means for media and content is that the people who make the best content are going to be the people who control media. So maybe we'll start seeing better stuff. If I had to put my money anywhere right now, the person in the lead would be Apple TV. They're really putting out some good stuff right now.
Do you guys think they will lower subscription? cost for that? Because surely they need to compete with the price, right?
Well, I think so.
Or they should,
because
they've
Sorry,
been
go ahead.
going up, as you've noticed.
Well, the price for HBO Max, they actually have sort of kept it much the same since they launched the service, and then they actually started offering last year, or it might have been early this year, an ad-supported lower price tier. So Warner Brothers or Warner Media was already making an effort to make it more economical for you to subscribe to HBO Max, and Discovery Plus is much cheaper. Like it's about the same price as ESPN Plus. I think it's like $5.99 or somewhere around that much, which is almost around one third of what HBO Max's non-ad supported tier is. So,
but
I'll be
Disney
honest.
and Netflix gone up.
Netflix did go up, yeah.
They did.
And they're not allowing sharing anymore. Like you cannot share an account with like your family, for example, without them having to pay for a separate subscription.
Which marks really low on the Toretto meter.
See what you did there. No, but seriously, yeah, I think there was an article that came out about that they're gonna recover like billions, like well over $1 billion of revenue annually just from. They're gonna charge a fraction of what it would cost for you to get Netflix on your own if you were just an out-of-house user of somebody else's account. But even still, they're gonna recover like billions of dollars annually, and so you can tell there's a lot of money being lost there because under the end user agreement, you technically are not allowed to share your credentials with anybody who's not living with you in your house. It's just that streaming services have never been able to enforce that part of the agreement. Now Netflix is trying it out internationally. They'll probably bring it to the US at some point, and I'm sure then it's going to trickle down to a lot of the other streaming services. But talking about specifically this merger, the the Warner Brothers Discovery, the new company, David Zaslav, he's the president and CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery now. He was the president and CEO of Discovery. So largely what has happened is most of the leadership structure of Discovery has taken over and become like, the leaders of this new company. And some leaders from Warner Brothers or Warner Media are still around, whereas like Ann Sarnoff and Jason Kilar. Jason Kilar was the president and CEO of Warner Media, and Ann Sarnoff was the president and CEO of the networks and broadcast at Studios Group, and both of them are gone. But they have kept Toby Emmerich around, who's the I believe the president or whatever his position name is. He's the leader, the person in charge at Warner Brothers, the movie studio. So the announcement here, it says today's announcement marks, which today was Friday, an exciting milestone not just for Warner Brothers Discovery, but for our shareholders, our distributors, advertisers, creative partners, and most importantly, consumers globally. The reason I bring this statement up is David Zaslav is going to be a key in, I think, turning Warner Brothers' fortunes around, Warner Media's fortunes around. Because when you look at the way he has run Discovery, like Andrew, you brought this up just a few minutes ago, that Discovery, you would still probably do a double take thing. Wait, what? Discovery bought Warner Media, not the other way around? Well, there's a reason for that. Like, because Discovery has been climbing up the ranks in the business world, and just the way they run their media business, they've always in the green. Like, they're never in the red. They're making money. It's high value content.
So they're a good business.
Exactly. They know how to do business, and they know
the retirement was really good. Retirement.
Is that right?
Well, okay.
Like Jason Killer's, I remember that from the research that they actually got huge checks because obviously they were kind of let go from their positions.
Yeah. Well, they got like golden parachutes, like. Yeah. Like that. In fact, there were stories coming out like as late as last year, saying that Jason Kilar was most likely going to be gone, and he's negotiating his exit package or whatever that worked out to be. So that was a long time coming. It was just he made it official this past week. But guys, David Zaslav, I think, is probably one of the smartest executives working in the media industry, and in an industry where Bob Iger is no longer running Disney, the man who basically took Disney from the one that was, making what was that Nicolas Cage movie about Prisoners on a Plane. What was that name of that film? Back in
Oh,
the early
I know what
2000s.
you're talking about.
I don't remember.
It's on the top of my tongue.
Total loss. I have no idea.
But
The Rock,
Super obscure.
Con Air.
Con Air, yeah.
Con
It's
Air.
it's a play on words, Con Air,
Yeah.
because they're all cons. But Disney, like in the 80s and 90s, like in the 90s when Bob Iger took over, was sort of like their movies were, the animated movie, the best of the golden age of Disney animated movies were sort of behind us. You obviously had like The Lion King and stuff, but Disney was not what it is today. And Bob Iger took it from there, and Pirates of the Caribbean's acquisition of Pixar, buying Marvel, buying Lucasfilm, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all the Pixar stuff we see today, launching Disney Plus, making that his like big last project on his way out. Bob Iger took Disney from being a very small player to basically being far and away the most influential, biggest movie studio and media company in the world today. So David Zaslav, I think, has the best acumen outside of that, but what Bob Iger used to command. And now that he's no longer running a company in the space, I think David Zaslav gives a big advantage to Warner Brothers Discovery.
But there was this very interesting article in Variety, I remember, where they compared Bob Iger and David Zaslav. And Bob Iger was a bigger people's person, essentially. He made a lot of good friends. That's why a lot of the shows and films were really successful, because of his influence. And lately there's been like some controversy because apparently they don't take care as well as their stars and actors as Bob Iger did. Like he's been like really taking care of them.
Bob Iger put the creatives in charge. They led their divisions and studios and everything, whereas Bob Chapek has installed a lot of people from financial backgrounds and just corporate business backgrounds in those leadership positions and taken a lot of that control away from the creatives. I mean, Roland, you're a creative. We know you direct movies.
I do.
From a business standpoint, Bob Iger did so much for Disney over the years to take it from, again, very small company relative to what it is today over the course of the last couple of decades. And a lot of it was because his leadership style was make sure the creatives are happy. So, and not do it at the expense of, business and middlemen and corporate ideology. Roland, what do you think about like that kind of a philosophy? Because that's exactly what David Zaslav and Discovery have been doing over the years. And now DC, CNN, Cartoon Network, all of that stuff is under that same leadership. What kind of potential do you see Warner, Brothers Discovery having under this new leadership?
I mean, letting the creatives do their thing is the most important thing you can do. Film industry is definitely a business, and we can never forget that because they never let us forget that. But the whole point of making a movie is to show the creative's vision. And it's hard to do that when there's producers and people put in these leadership roles where they think that because they're in a creative field that they themselves are a creative, which is not the case. And it always ends up toxic and confusing. And it'll be nice. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see this approach and seeing what kind of material and media we'll get from them.
If I had to say anything in terms of just a gut feeling for them, I think it would be a really good move to stop trying to compete with Disney and to actually, to be a completely different kind of entity. I think any effort to imitate what Disney is currently doing would eliminate the choice that they actually have, the opportunity to give people a choice to choose between the Disney stuff and something that's could be a healthy alternative or just better, different content. They have a chance to really differentiate themselves and create a superior product if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, in almost every respect, like one of the graphics I put up, let me see if I can bring it back up here, because I know you brought up Apple TV Plus, right? One of Warner Brothers and Warner Media, or I guess you can call them Warner Brothers now, one of their strengths throughout the years has been television. There's a lot of shows, a lot of premium shows and streaming services that are not like HBO or HBO Max, but they're shows produced by Warner Brothers Television. Ted Lasso is one of them. And there's countless more that people are probably not aware of. Like, for example, you have Friends, like, obviously sitcoms, like they've always produced great sitcoms, but they've produced a lot of great television over the years. And that's one of those things where, again, now Discovery comes in. They're bringing in a different side of television that Warner Brothers doesn't excel in themselves, like reality TV, and they're the kings of reality TV. And you combine those two, I think there's a lot of good stuff that can happen here, because both companies and the now one big company can lean into their strengths and fill in their weaknesses. Like, for example, Discovery Plus gets a lot of its traffic in the afternoon hours, because that's a lot of their programming. It's just stuff you put on and you just let it sit there. HBO Max, most of this traffic is in the evening hours, because it's like movies and like premium scripted TV. So there's not a whole lot of overlap there, which is why I think they decided to combine the two services together and provide even greater value to the consumer. And their plan is not to invest 150% of their revenue from the streaming service right back into content. They're like, we want to run in the green from the get-go, because unlike other studios who are spending way more than they're making, we have tens of billions of dollars of debt that we just inherited from Warner Media to get rid of. So we're going to do it by running this business sustainably, much like we have always run Discovery. And that's what I love about this whole thing. I really do believe, and even like, I think some people are like, well, hey, can we now restore the Snyderverse? Can we get the air cut? And I don't think there's any promises being made anywhere, but
The
I'll be honest with you.
Snyderverse, really? We need this Snyderverse. Let's start fresh. Let's do something new.
No, what I'm trying to say is, I think now you're in a position where if that indeed does come to fruition, I would trust the people behind the scenes in terms of their intentions and their plan, because a lot of that stuff in the past, like the Snyder Cut, was like a money grab and it didn't work. Whereas I think if they do something now, they will have more of a plan behind it. And
I think
so I
it
trust
worked.
it. Well,
It
it didn't
worked.
like it worked in terms of like drawing off, it
that
was
more about fan
successful, but it wasn't
satisfaction, because they
successful.
really had to fight for that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Snyder Cut was more about fan satisfaction, because they really didn't want to do that. And they had to, I was one of those guys. I mean, you can't really do much as a fan. All you can do is really, do a lot of tweets, do a lot of hashtags, try to talk to as many people.
But
write
it
articles.
worked.
But it worked.
Yeah.
They finally listened after not listening to their fans for a while. So I don't know if that was a cash grab, because I think if it was, they would have made more of a deal about it. That
Exactly.
makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the beauty of it. Like, it wasn't one of the greatest films of all time, but it just shows how much fans' opinion matters actually to some filmmakers out there.
Yeah.
It's actually a great example of a film actually succeeding, even though it wasn't the best film. Like, those films they are what they are essentially. They're there for a purpose to serve certain type of audience and fans. I enjoyed it. I thought it was 100% better. But yeah, anyway, how did we end up here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why are we talking about?
No, I was just bringing it up. That was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a last point that I was trying to make about this new merger. But Andrew,
But why not do something new? Like literally what Andrew said. Why not take this opportunity and literally what you guys been saying? All those streaming services, they should just literally fight for the best content out there. And I'm really excited, because that means we're gonna have a lot to choose from in the next week, like upcoming months.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah,
HBO had a lot of different companies under it, so they all have different types of content. I'm very excited to see what they do with Adult Swim, because I don't know if you guys been keeping up with that, but Adult Swim has always been known for like trying to stay fresh and creative, and hopefully they try to give it a big thumbs up and maybe give it a little more budget. I don't know. I'm not trying to make any predictions, but I do like seeing them supporting the creatives and new content.
Well, with 7
Nice.
seasons of Rick and Morty promised, I think Adult Swim's probably going to be okay.
No,
yes.
I'm not gonna get into it, but there's some really cool like smiling friends. It's a very Zoomer humor, but it's fun.
His own thing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well,
someone's
Andrew,
calling someone's name all the time.
Huh?
I hear someone's calling someone's name in the background. You guys
no,
not
I was
muted?
I was saying Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know. What?
No. There is someone calling someone in the background.
I have a haunted
100%.
doll in my basement.
Okay.
Maybe that.
Maybe. Might be it. Anyway, in case
More
you
on
guys
that
are
next week.
needed.
Oh my god. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys about it later.
Andrew, I was gonna ask you. There's more than just Warner Brothers Discovery's news that's happening right now. What's
Yeah.
going on with Elon Musk and Twitter?
What's going on with Elon Musk and Twitter? Well, he recently bought a majority stakeholder share in Twitter and basically is the biggest shareholder in Twitter now.
What
this
is
has
it?
got
10%?
9.7, I think, was the number.
9.7.
And he has been taking polls about what would make Twitter better. One of the things that he's proposed is an edit button. He's asked people, hey, do you think that free speech might
100%.
be censored on Twitter? And an alarming amount of people said, absolutely it is. There's speculation he'll bring Donald Trump back onto the platform and he will reinstate free speech to a platform that has cracked down on, well, it's not, I don't know if you can really say that it's cracked down, but it has cherry picked who it's kicked off and who it's kept on. This is a real wild card moment, especially with everybody trying to make Twitter alternatives. There are a lot that have sprung up in the last 4 years.
See, that's what I don't get. Why every single time they're talking about the story, whether it's news or Twitter, they bring up the whole episode with Joe Rogan when they had a joint. How does that relate to anything?
Because I guess because he really is unpredictable, and he is doing what he can to differentiate himself from just about every other CEO out there. He's, he released the patents for his cars. He says, if other people want to make excellent cars, here are the designs. This isn't about, money, even though the guy's got plenty, but he's using the power he's got to make changes and to, sort of be a thorn in people's side and mix things up. It's, still talking about Rick and Morty. He's what I imagine Rick would do if he were just a rich guy in the real world. He's mixing things up and having fun. Honestly, it's going to be it'll be interesting to see how it affects everything, because it undoubtedly will.
Yeah, no, 10% is not a big number, but
no,
I think in comparison to probably every other shareholder with the company, it's a significant amount. And I put up that, Max, that tweet specifically, I think that's from his account. It's a meme. It's basically, that picture is like a meme, but
I know,
he's
but
got a
I
sense
saw
of
it
humor
at the
to him.
gym.
Yeah.
I know, but I saw it at the gym, the exact same news with the whole clip showing in like Italian news, at 10 in the morning. It was just like, yeah, there's more to it. I actually have a fun story about Elon Musk. So I've met one of like directors of Tesla in Switzerland when I lived there. And he told me that like he visits every single company, like every single branch. He will visit at least once a year, give a speech. More than that, he stayed over at the company and he slept on a couch one night. He's that kind of person. Like he just like, I don't know if he worked late or something, but he just decided to hang out there, and stay there. Like very, very down to earth person apparently. And yeah.
You know what?
I mean,
I don't
space
know
extra.
I don't know about, what he's like personally. It's hard to know when everybody is, somebody on screen, or there's press releases leaked about everybody, always trying to be, good guy Bill Gates. And it's like, let's see what happens. I'm not interested in the personal stuff. I'm
But
not
Bill
interested in the
Gates-
joint.
But Bill Gates never asked us what we want in the new Microsoft release. You know, they never asked us like, what is it that we actually want?
That's what's cool about this. You know, it's like, I don't really believe in everything that happened with GameStop last year. But there was a really nice thought behind the idea that if enough of us, you know, buy stocks and choose one, we can make each other rich. I don't think it's as simple as that, but there's some mythology to buy into there. That's like, you know, it's a nice story to tell yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to kind of put a period on this, I just gotta say, Elon Musk has a cult of personality to him.
Yeah.
That, you know, he's probably set the template for a lot of other people. I think Jeff Bezos has not done a good job of following in those footsteps, but he's really developed like a follow. And Elon Musk does things just to do things sometimes to get attention, and he's very open with how he uses Twitter. He's got into trouble with Tesla stock over tweets and you know, insider trading possibly. So being like, there's a clear conflict of interest potentially here with being a 10% shareholder in Twitter, and obviously the, you know, what he uses the platform for. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's interesting. You'll see just how lit that next corporate that meeting is going to be, whatever the shareholders meeting is going to be. Yeah. So guys, let me ask you this. Warner Brothers Discovery, you know, big new company. It's gonna be probably it has been in its old form and even in its new form, is the big competitor for Disney in a lot of the verticals that Disney operates in. And now Warner Brothers Discovery, they've got like, you know, a new leadership, and they've got DC, they've got Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Discovery Networks, they've got all that good stuff coming up. Tell us what you're excited to see the most from this new company. Do you want to see the Snyderverse be restored? Are you interested in seeing the Air cut? Do you think they're going to be shutting down everything they've been doing up until this point and start fresh? Who knows? I mean, Discovery Plus and HBO Max will be one streaming service. I know that's going to save me money. Hopefully it will save you money too. Elon Musk at Twitter, a lot of stuff going on there. We'll see, you know, what that turns into. I don't think it's as much as we're probably making it out to be, but you know, let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. But right now, what I would like to do is pivot. I would like to pivot to a movie review. Guys, let's talk about Ambulance. It's one of several wide release movies coming out this week. And I believe there's plenty of mayhem in this movie. And
nice one.
yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think about Michael Bay's Ambulance.
Guys, you were busy watching Sonic.
Yeah,
all good.
No. You
So you haven't seen it. So what have you heard? Like what? You guys
From what I
heard
understand,
anything?
this is Michael Bay's best work in years. And if you're not a fan of Michael Bay, it's not for you. If you are, you're going to be happy. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of, you know, exciting crashes, and, you know, it's sort of a tour de force nonstop thing, you know. There's a little bit of family at the beginning, so it's okay at the Toretto Meter. And it's I've heard it's 40 minutes too long, a lot.
I would say an hour too long even.
Wow, that number keeps going up.
Like, no.
I mean, how long
honestly,
is it?
It's like 2.5 hours, isn't it?
2 hours, 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's longer than Doctor Strange is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after watching the
God.
film, I watched this brilliant review by someone who essentially used a brilliant description of like what happened towards the end. Imagine playing a game and you have like a TLC, right? Like, sorry, DLC content. So imagine playing a game and having DLC released halfway through the game. and you're forced to play that without finishing the main story first. Like, it took eyes of like what was happening to kind of do a bit of that, and then did the full, you know, full back to the main plot. So okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you liked about it?
Let's start with the good things.
Okay.
Considering it was only 40 million budget, which is not a lot considering it's an action film, right?
It's not a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. They announced
Unless
in
we don't know
2015
something about the ambulance, but we'll have to wait for the next one for that.
Possibly.
Yeah. They announced in 2015, so it probably took them a while to even like gather budget for it and stuff. So who knows? Yeah, the good things. Cast, great. Jake Gyllenhaal is essentially Jake Gyllenhaal in Michael Bay film. So like you can imagine, it's like he's a
hunka. Yeah.
No, he's crazy. He's playing this kind of. I was getting Donnie Darko vibes sometimes. It was very, yeah, it was entertaining. It was very interesting to see this character because so he plays a gangster. So we've got two brothers. We have Yaha Mateen Abdul. Is it? Yeah.
Yahya Abdul Mateen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Abdul Mateen. And then we have the second, sorry, yes. And then we have Jake Gyllenhaal, the brothers. And he essentially he steps out of this criminal family essentially, and he decides to do something good, and he becomes a soldier. But then the insurance kicks in, and he's trying to save up for his family and stuff, and he decides to reach out to his brother, his stepbrother, who's this criminal mastermind. And that was the whole thing. Like the film progresses, the more we uncovering, which it's kind of ridiculous. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Like it was unbelievable who that person was. Yeah.
So what you're saying is a Michael Bay movie is a little light on the plot.
They go on a money heist, and there's this incredible, like unbelievable scene happening towards the end where like there's like a surgery in a car chase happening. There's a lot. It's a lot happening, and I must say, as I said, it should have ended 45 minutes to an hour before it did. But for $40 million, you know, and the cast, and as Andrew said, it's very much true. If you're a fan of Michael Bay, sure, go ahead, see it. If not, then yeah, skip. But that's it.
I love the Bayhem. I'll take Bayhem all day long. Like those Transformers movies, they might be half visual noise, but I'm seeing gunpowder being blown up left and right, hundreds of millions of dollars worth. That's all I need. That's all I need. I mean, you know, like I know you guys were talking about Isaac Gonzalez, who plays the nurse before the show, and there's a lot of Michael Bay things in this movie. It's a very Michael Bay movie.
It's incredible.
From Dusk Till Dawn fans?
Yeah.
They did a TV show from Dusk Till Dawn, and that's where she got, like, I guess, started on.
Really?
So,
Yep.
Wow.
She was in Godzilla vs. Kong. She was in that movie. She played like I forgot what she was in the movie. She played like some character.
I remember her from Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And I must say, it's incredible that her makeup stayed throughout the entire film, like untouched, from the lipstick to
mayhem,
to eyeliner, everything.
Works for me.
Yeah, I don't know
Fox,
what else.
they splashed some dirt on her at different points in Transformers, which was a nice touch, but otherwise, yeah, that's a real Michael Bay benefit.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I heard there's a lot of but I've not seen this movie yet, but I desperately want to see it because I'm a Michael Bay fan. I love Michael Bay. Like, I love a lot of the things that he does. I know there's a little bit of he's self-control, but some of those elements is lacking sometimes. Like, he does it a little bit too much. But when Michael Bay is Michael Baying to the Michael Bayist I think there's nothing better than Michael Bay. So like Six Underground was a lot of fun for me. Even though most people thought that was a terrible Netflix movie, I had a lot of fun with it. It was a great
Actually, I
cast.
thought that was pretty good too. I got your back, Dan. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
I
movie.
mean, look, like even the cinematography stuff, we all know that telescopic lens, what do you call it? Telephoto
Anamorphic?
lens. That's telescopic lens. The telephoto lens helicopter shot that
Mhm.
Michael Bay is known for. Like they're like the characters are standing on top of a building, and then like
Yeah.
you have this like extremely zoomed in shot where like the background is moving behind them so quickly.
Yeah.
It's
We had
big-
5 of them, maybe.
The big
Really,
criticism that I
like-
keep hearing is that like your big takeaway from the movie is, well, I guess Michael Bay got a drone, because there's like
Yeah.
a lot of drone photography. There's like an
Yeah.
incredible shot where the drone goes under a car, jumping over it. Like it's some feats of cinematography achieved
Yeah.
in this one.
But nothing new. Nothing new. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Apart from Jake Gyllenhaal's character, like there was nothing new. Every single character was like, yeah, I know you. I've seen you before. That was probably the most unique you can get, I think, with Michael Bay film. Yeah. It's not, I
yeah.
don't recommend watching it if you're not Michael Bay's film fan. Like, yeah,
Gotcha.
his work fan.
I mean, look,
yeah.
Michael Bay has been producing a lot of stuff in recent years. Like he hasn't been directing as much. So I feel like he was probably like, man, I need to direct a movie. I need to let the mayhem out. I've been holding it in for too long. Give me 40 million, somebody. Or he probably asked for more, but he got 40 million. And then he was like, that's it. That's enough. We don't need a
He'll
ton of
probably-
helicopter shots. We'll do drone.
Given that this is what people
Yeah.
are saying, his best work in years, he'll probably make a good profit on this.
Yeah. No, I mean this movie, speaking of the box office, it's set to make somewhere in the teens, like, well below 20 million at the opening box office in North America. I'm sure internationally it will make around as much. So if it's at a budget of 40 million, that number isn't bad, because that right there is a good chunk of your spend, and I'm sure it's gonna at least make his money back, and then that's all you can ask for. I mean, those Transformers movies were huge hits. People know, if this movie is not it's not a Transformers movie, so the expectations are not the same. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a lot of fun talking about this movie. The more we talk about this thing, the more I like the prospect of going to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I just, like I said, the mayhem, like that's really what's drawing me into this movie.
I got to be honest, I'm curious about it, and I'm not a huge Michael Bay fan, but
Yeah.
he does what he does very well, and I might have to give this one a shot.
You stay engaged. Like, despite the film being ridiculous, you still kind of somehow want to find out what's going to happen. But the end is
absolutely.
predictable, so don't get your hopes up. It's like, yeah, that I knew that from 10 minutes in, that's going to happen. But just really quickly, I found a brilliant summary from someone on the Rotten Tomatoes: a high-octane car chase thriller that finds Bay in top form. And I think that's what it was.
And you know what else is, just to put a cap on it, I think it's a really smart idea to take a medical drama and mash it together with a chase. It's like you're taking two genres and putting them together. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. No, hey, it's like I said, or like you said earlier, this could have a sequel, and then the ambulance is a Transformer for all we know. So
God, I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think about Ambulance. If you have seen it, we'd love to hear from you. We just, took a deep dive into it. Some of us have not seen it yet. I have not seen it, but I've only heard good things. And from the parts I have seen, it looks fantastic. But let us know, of course, your thoughts on Ambulance. Would you like to see more Michael Bay movies? We would love to. Hear your thoughts on that. But right now, guys, we have to move on to something different. This is a movie that we're going to talk about which hasn't come out yet. let's talk about the Secrets of Dumbledore. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore specifically. This is a movie that is set to come out next week. So that naturally leads us to talking about what we will be doing on next week's show, and that of course is talking about this movie. So, guys, are you excited about Fantastic Beasts 3? Have you seen the trailers? What do you think about this movie?
Oh my gosh, Dan, let me just tell you, I've never been like a big Harry Potter guy.
Me
you know.
neither.
I get it. I understand. I've just had so many people in my life that were such a fan. And as a hipster,
Yeah.
I couldn't allow that. I couldn't do that. I'm not. I know what I am. I'm a Hufflepuff. Apparently, I'm like a jerk Hufflepuff, but I'm still a Hufflepuff. But I respect it. That's what I have to say.
I don't know what
Wow.
there's a special kind of Hufflepuff.
What?
You said you're not a.
He's a mean one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I heard something else. I didn't
What
want to.
people have said is
assume.
not very podcast nice.
Ooh.
But they admit that I am a Hufflepuff. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I don't know what those really mean. Harry Potter has become a sort of pseudo religion for people, and it's not one that I subscribe to. I read a couple of the books. I watched all of the movies, and I did like the original movies. Those were fun. But I feel like we could let it lie at this point. So do I have 3 movies to watch to catch up on, or am I going to go into this one blind? Because I have no idea what these are about. I don't know really. Like, what can we expect for next week?
Yeah.
It's a continuation, obviously, of the story, but I feel like if you have watched some of the Harry Potter movies, you'll get some contextual, hints that way. You don't have to know everything.
Guys, having grown up in England, it's kind of like a must. You have to watch Harry Potter, or at least get half of it. Like, people were crying on the day of premiere of that film, of films and stuff. Yeah, it's like real religion, as Dan or Andrew said, I can't remember. But yeah, having said that, I don't think Harry Potter fans particularly care about Fantastic Beasts. I think it's more serviced to like completely new audience. And couldn't care less about any of the Fantastic Beasts. I have not seen any of it. I have no idea what the story is.
Wow.
I know Jude Law plays young Dumbledore, and there was the whole drama between Matt Mikkelsen replacing Johnny Depp because of his case. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's the Ezra Miller drama.
Exactly. Yeah. So what happened there, Dan?
With Ezra, without going into too many details, he's basically got himself arrested. I think he had a restraining order filed against him. He's very bad with alcohol, and he tends to get drunk and then do things that are not good for somebody being in the public eye, or really for anybody. So,
or doing karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke included.
Inside jokes for
yes. No, absolutely. We're not going to go into the details of it, but that, what happens to have involved some karaoke. But yeah, next week, Fantastic Beasts 3. Secrets of Dumbledore, the 3rd movie in that franchise. The Wizarding World is back, and people have mixed, expectations and thoughts. It's getting mixed reviews so far. We'll see how it plays out, and we'll be talking about that. We will also hopefully be talking more about your comments, guys. If you're watching, like, subscribe, comment, and below. Let us know what you think. Before we head out, I just wanted to. What is going on in our chat here? Like, we do this like behind the scenes chat, and okay, all right, sorry.
Tell them.
I thought there was some kind of.
I'm just saying, I am crushing hard. It's 3 a.m. here, so I'm not staying longer.
Yeah, no, it's very late for Max. But right before we go, I just wanted to point out a comment that one of our viewers left us on YouTube, and this was basically what I decided to do for comment of the week, something new that I wanted to try out. When we reviewed Koi Milgia and what was E.T., we compared the two, and this is something I don't think any of us pointed out or knew, and I didn't know, there's a fun fact that apparently both movies are an adaptation of a third like original script called The Alien, and E.T. basically did it first, and then I guess Cornelia was probably based more on the original story than it was on E.T. directly, but obviously coming from the same source material, there's some good comparisons to be made, as we did make some good comparisons. But as the viewer here, RZZV Travel Blog says, good to see some appreciation for Indian cinema, including Bollywood. And we do appreciate that you are, checking us out, and I think we did at least one. We have done one more of those. We compared like another Bollywood movie. What was it? Night and Day.
Night and Day.
And Bang Bang.
Bang Bang. That's yeah. There's so many more that we can do. Maybe we'll do that next week too. I mean, we'll be live again. We'll hopefully try to do it at the same time as we did today. We're trying to like set up a schedule. But guys, that will do it for today. Fantastic Beasts 3 next week. Come check us out. Watch the review. We'll do a bunch of other stuff. Rolan Underground. Maybe Toretto Meter will make its return. You never know.
I hope.
What's
so.
real? It's family.
I miss the song. That's going to be stuck with me now.
Yeah.
I'll be there 5 a.m. vibing to.
Hey, Andrew, where can the good people find us?
They can find us pretty much anywhere. We are on Instagram, YouTube. YouTube's a great place, but we stream weekly now on YouTube and Twitch. And anywhere else you can get a podcast, look for Oh So Curious, one of the little deviations with some underscores. But we're pretty much, if it's purple, it's us. But hang out with us, follow us, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, sorry. Was that like my cue to go away?
Probably.
Yeah. Sorry, what I
Okay,
meant
I
was,
totally missed it. I totally missed it.
Go away.
Yeah.
Go away. Well, like and subscribe.
Dan
let us
needs
know
to
your
just
thoughts.
sign off. Dan's the
Alright.
host. He needs
Like
to
it.
say.
Sorry. I was wrapping it up. We're wrapping
Okay,
up.
I did not take that cue at all. What?
That's fine.
Thank you, guys. I guess
Yeah,
you're
thanks,
wrapping it up. Goodbye.
Goodbye and thank you so
Goodbye.
much. Goodbye.
Bye.